Hey guys, another project that we are working on today. It is such a bright and beautiful sunny day. We don't want to waste the time. But can I give a shout out to this wonderful husband of mine? He does an amazing job working with the tractor and the auger, giving us the perfect placement for all the holes that is needed. And he actually did it in a straight line. He's pretty precise. Very professional. I am very impressed with his knowledge and skill. So definitely a shout out to the hubby for all this hard work. Hey you guys. Okay, so we dug these holes with the auger. Looks like I've got about at least 10 holes I need to put plants in. We thought we would just create this into a hardy hibiscus hill right here. It gets full sunlight exposure, and it's hard to mow up here because it's kind of like a little ledge. So the hubby can mow here, but you can see when he is sideways, it's kind of hard to mow. So we thought if we grow something big over here, it can kind of trellis over the grass so he can just mow right up to the edge of the flower. All of these are hardy hibiscus that I rooted from cuttings. I did a video on it previously, and all of these have basically taken root. You can see these are the roots at the base, so they are ready to go into the ground. I'm just going to individually pot them up, and then yes, I know the hole is big. I mean, the whole plant can actually fit in here. You can see this is how big the hole is, but the auger is quite big, and the ground, you can see I gardened in zone 8A, and this is all red clay, so it's really hard to dig even with the shovel. So we thought the auger would be better. That way the hole is a little bit bigger. It'll give the plants a little extra to give them room to move around, as opposed to just planting them right in with the hard clay with just a little hole. So I thought this way, this hole is a little bit bigger. I am going to put in biotone starter into the hole, mix it around, and then put each individual plant in there. And as you can tell, they're just one single stem. Barely even flower. I doubt that will get too much of a show this year. You can see there's a little flower there. So you have to bear with me and kind of use your imagination. Most of these are the hardy hibiscus midnight marvel. They can get to about 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall, depending on the space you give them. So I kind of put them over here, and we space them so that they can bleed into each other and just create a complete hedge with no opening. That way it can kind of suppress the weed and grass in this area, so we don't have to mow and weed. Most of them are hardy hibiscus, the midnight marvel, but I do have some of the green one, which is the pink variety. These ones, if I run out of room, I'm going to place some of these in the backside, but I think I have enough in here. Each of them contains at least like 5 or 6 plants in each pot, so that should give me enough to uproot them. Over here I have 2, 4, 6, 8 over here just in this pot. So we'll see how far along we'll get, and like I said, use your imagination. But for next year, if everything take and it matures a little bit, it'll be a spectacular view over here. You can see this is where the driveway is coming into the property. And then like I said, this will be the hibiscus hill coming in to the driveway. So I think that'll be really pretty. Eventually, what I would like to do, I do have a white hardy hibiscus grown right now, but I want to see if I like that color. For some reason, the white, I don't like how when they turn brown, it looks really dirty in the garden. So part of me really want to do red and white, just to make it pop out even more with the two different hardy hibiscus. But I'm just afraid the white color may create kind of a brownish color that I don't want when it fades. So I think we're just going to go with the red this year. I'll see how the white look in the garden this year for next year. And then if worst case scenario, I like it, I take cutting and then we'll plant it every other one. Let's get started. Hey everyone, so this is the biotone I'm going to use. It's in a Cheeto ball bag, but it's actually biotone in here. I just needed a big Tupperware that I can use to gain access in. So what I was going to do is scoop a little bit in here, but the hole is really big. So I'm going to just put it in there. That way it'll kind of start working on the ground. And then I'm going to cover it up, put a little bit more, and then individually up pot these. So I'm going to do this one right now and that one, and then we'll see how it goes. And we just got rain, so it is going to be red mud clay I'll be playing in. Ooh, talk about red mud clay. Okay, so we're going to start with this first one. I think I'm going to have to take everything out of the pot, if it will come out. You can see the roots are struggling to come out, so I think what I might have to do is roughen it up a little. Okay, here we go.
How many you got in there?
8. So what we're going to do is kind of break it apart, tease it apart, whatever we can do to try to get the root system apart. And each of them is like individual plant. See? So I'm going to put it in the ground, put it back up with the native soil. And it's just rain, so that's why it's going to be a muddy, bloody mess. Push it down. And cover the hole back up. Ooh.
Won't need to water that in.
I definitely don't need to water this in. Okay, we're moving to the next hole.
Let me see those hands. Oh man, time to start only hands.
Only hand club. Okay, moving on to the next one. This hole is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to cover it up so I don't burn my biotone. Okay.
Bio cheese.
Bio cheese. Very funny. Oh, I'll break the root system apart here. This is like perfect time to plant because the ground is normally really hard to play with, and you can see it's quite easy. Hi Pixie. It's Pixie. So biotone really gets the dogs into the garden. Hopefully they won't dig, but they probably will. Okay, so I'm going to go along and finish up the rest. Oh, that's Bluxum. Say hi, Bluxum. Hi. So we're going to finish up the rest. I'll set the camera to do a time lapse and we'll go from there. 17 hardy hibiscus have been planted. Definitely fun playing in the red clay soil of Alabama. You can see here, these are all the hardy hibiscus that I've planted. Some are a little bit small, some a little bit bigger. Hopefully, though, they will all transition and survive. They had a really good root system from last year when I took the cutting. So this year, going to the ground, I don't expect them to do much but get root establishment. This one over here is the one that has the bud, and you can hear it starting to downpour again, so I've got to hurry up. But this one is a bud right here. So 17 hardy hibiscus in play, and eventually it'll line this whole entire driveway. I think that'll be beautiful, and I cannot wait to show you guys what it'll look like next year. Hopefully they'll all take, and if not, I'll have some extra to spare, and then that way we can plant them in the springtime if that's the case. But generally it's better if you're going to do a hedge to do them all at the same time. That way there's not a lapse in one growth difference than the other one. So that's why I kind of wanted to do it all at the same time, and hopefully they will take. Biotone is situated. Hopefully the dogs won't dig into the hole because they seem to like eating biotone, any kind of fertilizer that I put into the ground. They did that to the front a little bit, so I had to tell a lot of them no. I think they understand what no means, but when I'm not around and they don't hear that word, that means it's fair game. I think that's how they interpret that. So that'll be great. And then this area over here, eventually we'll prep for the new raised garden bed. That's why we're not planting anything over here. Originally I had thought I would put another garden over here, but I think we're going to move and transition the raised bed over here, and then where the raised bed currently is, which is over here, we're going to tear all this down and then dig out some more space for gardening. So eventually I'll have garden all along here. So that'll be exciting. It'll be another garden in progress. Really happy with how this is going to be, and I'm looking forward to showing you all. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Happy gardening, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.